So here we have some properties in Wellington City, and what I've done is use the LocalMaps reporting to build and generate a Land Information Memorandum, or a LIM report. A LIM is a comprehensive report that contains all the relevant information a council knows about a property or section. So you can see here we have a nicely designed cover or title page to the report. This is simply a Word document where we've inserted various dynamic values like the address and the legal description. Next we have dynamic table information, either based on a table join, like these property details, or a spatial relationship with other relevant layers, like the district plan data, and then information like the heritage buildings, the trees and the objects. Data here can either be coming from ArcGIS services from ArcGIS Enterprise or online, or reading directly from your SQL, MySQL or other databases. Now there's obviously a lot of other core static information, but we also need to make this relevant to just this property. So using dynamic text, we can insert a value into a paragraph, like this Wellington wind zone. Finally, we have our all-important maps, either inline in the document as you can see here, or using a standard or custom print template. These can either use a dynamic scale to fit to the property, or a fixed scale, in this case for an overview of the district plan zoning for the relevant suburb. Now this is all great, but reports like this are no real news to anyone. What is the easy building process. LocalMaps provides a configurable and intuitive UI for setting up those elements. The title page is just a Word template. That's it. We have standard Word elements and a placeholder text that will pull in information from the layer the report is based on. Then we have our map section. Here we can select a web map, and then we can choose to either place this inline, or we can also use an existing print template. Then we can choose the title field or use the map name as I did, and I can control whether the map zooms to the specific feature we're basing the report on or uses a fixed scale. So you can see here it is a very visual building process. Then we have our tables. This splits out the different parts that make up the tabular components that we saw in the output. First, the table headers, where we've used some custom HTML to adjust the styling. Now this gives us the line across the top, the font, or you could just use the rich text editor here. Then we have our table content that are based on a query. We can add in some no results text and then join to a layer and define the fields that we want to pull back. Then we can just adjust the look and feel of the table, looking at the header and then also doing the same for the values as well. We also have the option to insert a value into a pre-configured paragraph using conditional text elements. Now finally, and most importantly, I want to show you how we can bring these different elements together in a way that's easy to manage, to update and to reorganize if need be. Conditional reports. Now, many of you LocalMaps users might be using this right now to combine a series of reports based on specific conditions, say when a property intersects with a certain hazard, and then exclude those that don't. But in this case, I just want to highlight a different use case, where we can use them to better organize and control our reports. Using conditional reports, I can combine these different sections. You can see our title page, our table section, maps, and then appendices into one mass report, which gives me so much more control over the configuration and structure of large comprehensive reports such as LIMS.